buddies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today we're checking out an animated short that was suggested. I'm so excited. I know I stopped in the middle of the sentence, but because Christmas is starting soon, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, okay. All right, back to the video. The little Christmas is coming excitement. This is Baby X animated short film by Brendan Bradley. Sorry if it's a little loud. Hubby's out in the living room. He's very loud talker. He's out there with his cousin. And yes, link for this video is in the description box below for you to check out. Now let's get started.
Once upon a time, a baby named X was born.
Okay.
This baby was named X because no one could tell whether it was a boy or a girl.
Okay.
Its parents could tell, of course, but they couldn't tell anyone else.
Why?
You see, it was all part of a very important secret scientific experiment known officially as Project Baby X. The smartest
baby
scientists had
buns.
set up this experiment at a cost of exactly $23.72.
Whoa.
This might seem like a lot for just one baby.
Yes, that is a lot.
The cost of strained carrots and stuffed bunnies and popcorn for the movies and booster shots for camp, let alone 28 shiny quarters for the tooth fairy. You begin to see how it all adds up. Besides,
yes,
long
it does
before
add
Baby
up.
X was born, the smart scientist had to be paid to write the official instruction manual
Which
in
makes
secret
sense.
code for Baby X's parents, the
Okay.
Joneses. On the day the Joneses brought their baby home, lots of friends and relatives came over to see it. None of
Which
them
is
knew about
normal.
the secret experiment, though. So
Look
the
at
first
that
thing they
face.
asked was what kind of baby X was. When the Joneses
Oh.
smiled and said,
It's an X.
none of the relatives knew what to say.
True.
They couldn't say.
Look at her cute little dimples.
Oh
On the
yeah,
other hand, they couldn't say.
Look at his husky little biceps.
that's
The
true.
relatives all felt embarrassed about having an X in the family.
People
Well-
think there's something wrong with it.
Some of
Well,
them were
I wouldn't. Okay, I get the confusion. I mean, you're not really sure what to say. You know, whether to say, oh, he or she or any of that. I get that, but to be like embarrassed because it's a baby X, that's different. That's a little unnecessary.
whispered.
There is something wrong with it.
Others whispered
Okay,
back.
yeah, that's
the
rude.
official instruction manual had warned the parents this would happen,
Okay.
so they didn't fret about it. Besides,
They
there were
weren't
other
worried.
problems too.
Okay.
Toys, for instance, and clothes. On his first
Oh.
shopping trip, Mr. Jones told the store clerk.
I need some clothes and toys for my new baby.
All right,
The clerk smiled and said,
Well, now, is it a boy or a girl?
It's an X.
I get what's
Mr. Jones
happening
said,
here.
smiling back. But the clerk got all red in the face and said huffily,
Well, in that case, I'm afraid I can't help you,
Oh,
sir.
okay.
That night,
That's
Ms.
rude.
Jones consulted page 2326 of the official instruction manual.
All right, what does it
said
say?
firmly, buy plenty of everything. So they bought plenty of sturdy blue pajamas in the
Okay.
boys' department and cheerful flowered underwear in the girls' department. And they bought all kinds
Okay.
of toys.
All right.
The head scientist of Project Baby X reminded the Joneses to see page 4629 of the manual, where it said, never make Baby X feel embarrassed or ashamed about what it wants to play
Right.
with. And if X gets dirty climbing rocks, never say, nice little X's don't get dirty climbing rocks.
Yeah.
Likewise, it
Yes.
said,
Yes.
if
Like,
X don't-
okay, I get that this is about gender and how we should treat a child, and I get how, like with certain things, let the baby wear what. Get a lot of different clothes for the baby to wear, and it's a newer age. It's a more modern mindset in regards to having a little boy wear a girl dress as a baby. So I get that there is confusion on what to do in that situation. Have your child, boy or girl, plays with rocks and gets dirty, it should never been a situation where you're like, oh, your baby's a girl, so she should not get dirty playing with rocks, or your baby's a girl, so she shouldn't play with trucks. Or yeah, if the baby is a boy and he wants to bake, or well, not a baby, but a child is a boy and he wants to bake, you shouldn't be like, oh, boys don't bake, they go outside and play with their toys. That's nonsensical.
falls down and cries, never say, brave little X's don't cry. Because, of course, nice little X's do get dirty, and brave little
Yes,
X's
they-
do cry.
they do.
No matter how dirty X
Yeah,
gets
kids
or
cry.
how hard it cries, don't worry. It's all part of the experiment.
The
But then
experiment.
it was time for X to start school. The Joneses were really worried about this because school was even more full of
Yeah.
rules for boys and rules for girls, and there were no
School-
rules for X's. The Joneses spent
School
weeks
can
consulting
be
their instruction manual
very
until
tough.
finally X was ready.
Okay.
The Joneses helped X button on a nice new pair of red and white checkered
Aw.
overalls. X brushed its teeth and combed its hair.
Comb
and
your
remembered
hair.
to put a napkin in its lunchbox.
Good job.
The Joneses had asked X's teacher if class could line up alphabetically instead of forming separate lines for boys and girls.
Okay.
And they'd asked if X could use the principal's bathroom because it wasn't marked anything except
Bathroom. True.
X's teacher promised to take care of all those problems, but no one could help X with the biggest problem of
What?
all. Other children.
True.
You couldn't tell what X was by studying its clothes, and you couldn't
True.
guess whether X had a girl's short haircut or a boy's long haircut.
Right.
And it was very hard to tell by the games X liked to play. Some of the children tried to find out by asking tricky questions
Like what?
Who's your favorite sports star?
That was easy. X had 2 favorite sports stars.
What is it?
A girl jockey named Robin Smith and a boy archery champion named Robin Hood. Then they asked,
That makes
What's
it
your
hard.
favorite TV program?
and that was even easier. X's favorite program was Lassie, which stars a girl dog played by a boy dog. After
Is
school,
that
X
true?
wanted to
Is that
play
a truth in Lassie? Was it Lassie's a girl, but the dog was a boy? Not that that's like a big thing, like, oh my goodness, but that's interesting. That is interesting that they had, instead of getting a female dog, they had a male dog play a female dog.
the other children. How about shooting some baskets in the gym? X asked the girls, but all they did was make faces and giggle behind X's back.
Why?
Boy, is she weird.
Whispered Jim
Oh.
to Joe. How about weaving some baskets in the arts and crafts room? X asked the boys, but they all made faces and giggled behind X's back too.
Wait, okay, but the girls had a basketball in their hands, so why is it weird that the kid was asking for them to play with? Like, that doesn't make... Okay, these people are dumb. These people are just dumb.
Weird.
Whispered Susie to Peggy. That night, Ms. and Mr. Jones asked X how things had gone at school. X tried to smile, but there were 2 big tears in its eyes. Once more, the Joneses reached for their instruction manual. Under other children, they found,
other children.
what did you expect? Other children have to obey all the silly boy-girl rules because their parents taught them to.
Oh.
Lucky X, you don't have to stick to the rules at all.
Although that's what
all
they have
you
to say
do
to
is
X.
be yourself. P.S. We're not saying it will be easy.
No.
The next morning, little X went back to school with a brave
Go be
smile
brave.
and a clean pair of red and white checkered overalls.
You really
There
like
was a
those
7-letter word
overalls.
spelling bee in class that day, and a 7-lap boys relay race in the gym,
Intersectionality.
and a 7-layer cake baking contest in the girls' kitchen corner.
Okay.
X won the spelling bee. X also won the
What?
relay race, and X almost won the baking contest, except it forgot to light the oven, which only proves that nobody's
Okay,
perfect.
yeah,
One
that's
of
true.
the other children noticed something else too.
What?
He said,
X don't care about winning, and X don't care about losing.
Yeah.
X just thinks it's fun, playing boys stuff and girls
Yep.
stuff.
Come to think of it, maybe X is having
Wait, hold on.
twice
How
as
old are
much
these
fun as
children?
we are.
From
Those
then
are like
on,
straight
some
up
really
grown
funny
adults.
things began to happen. Susie, who sat next to X in class, suddenly refused to wear pink dresses to school
Okay.
anymore. She insisted on wearing red and white checkered overalls, just like X. Overalls, she told her parents, were much better for climbing the monkey
True.
bars. Then Jim, the class football nut, started wheeling his little sister's doll carriage around the football
Okay.
field. He told his family that X did the same thing, so it must be okay. But the
They're all
worst
looking at
came when
X
the
like
twins,
they're-
Joe and Peggy decided
X
to
is
share
cool.
everything. Their parents weren't one bit pleased with Peggy's wonderful biology experiments
Oh.
or with Joe's terrific needlepoint pillows. They
That's-
didn't care that Peggy mowed the lawn better and that Joe vacuumed the carpet better. In
That-
fact, they were furious.
What?
It's all that little X's fault.
Just because
Okay, calm down, you oafs. These 2 people. Oh my gosh. You're a child. Okay, if you're listen. If I have 2 children, a boy child and a girl child, and the boy child was better at vacuuming the floor and the girl child was better at mowing the lawn, then just get your butts to work. I don't care who's doing what. Clean the house and mow the lawn. That's it. It's that simple. It's not related to your gender. It's capability. What can you do? What are you good at? What do you want to do? That's what it's about.
This X doesn't know what it is.
Or what it's supposed to be.
It wanted to get everybody else mixed up too.
You know?
Finally, Joe and Peggy's parents decided to call
dear.
an emergency meeting of the school
Some
parents association
parents
to
can be
discuss
the worst.
the X problem. The parents association said that X must take an examination.
Oh dear.
An impartial team of experts must examine it physically and mentally.
I can't wait to see what they're about to
If
say.
X's test showed it was a boy, it would have to start obeying all the boys' rules.
If it proved to be a girl, X would have to obey all the girls' rules.
And if X turned out to be some kind of mixed up misfit, then X must be expelled from the school.
Ninja, what?
The school would have to decide what to do about X.
Ninja, what?
On
Take
the
a
night
shovel to
before
that
X
person's
was to be
face, please.
examined, the Joneses tried not to let X see how worried
Yeah,
they
don't
were.
be
X
worried.
just smiled at them both and hugged them
Aw.
hard and didn't say much of anything. At exactly 9 o'clock the next day, X reported to the school health office. The principal, along with the committee from the Parents Association, X's teacher, X's classmates, and Mr. Jones waited in the hall outside.
There's a lot of people.
The impartial team of experts had set up their famous testing machine, the Super Psychomedical Sociocultural Meter.
Okay.
It was terribly quiet in the hall. Almost spooky. Once in a while, they would hear a strange noise inside the room.
Poor X.
The Joneses thought.
Serves X right.
The parents' committee thought.
I wouldn't want to be in X's overalls right now.
The children thought.
That's a cute statement.
At last, the door opened.
The door opened.
Everyone crowded around to hear the results.
What do you gotta say?
X was smiling, but the impartial team of experts looked as if they were crying.
Why?
What happened?
Everyone began shouting.
Had X done something disgraceful?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Did X flunk the whole test?
Or just the most important part.
Goodness.
Sighed Miss Jones.
Oh dear.
Sighed Mr. Jones.
Yeah, I'd say too.
Shh, shushed the principal.
The experts are trying to speak.
Wiping
And she
his
shushed
eyes and
them?
clearing his throat, the one expert began.
In our opinion, young X here. Yes? Yes? Young here. I mean, young X here is just about.
Just about what? Let's have it.
Just about the least mixed up child we've ever examined.
Yay!
Yelled one of the children, and then the others began yelling
This
too,
was dancing.
clapping and cheering and jumping up and down. The parents' committee was
course.
angry and bewildered.
How could X have passed the whole examination?
Didn't X have an identity problem?
No.
Wasn't X
You
mixed
all
up
have
at
an
all?
identity problem.
Wasn't X any kind of a misfit?
And why was the impartial team of experts
True.
crying?
Why were they
Don't
crying?
you see?
He said.
We're crying because it's wonderful.
Aw.
X has absolutely no identity problem. X isn't one bit mixed up. As for being a misfit, ridiculous.
So, but why are they
X knows
crying though?
perfectly well what it is. Don't you, X?
The experts
Aw.
winked. X winked
Aw.
back.
What is X? We still want to know.
Shrieked
Of course
Peggy and
they would.
Joe's parents.
Ha ha, yes. Well, don't worry. You'll all know one of these days. And you won't need us to tell you.
One of
Said
these
the
days
experts,
you'll
winking
know.
again.
What?
What do they mean?
They mean that by the time it matters which sex X is, it won't be a secret anymore.
Needless to say, the
True.
Joneses were very
True.
happy. The Project Baby X scientists were rather pleased too. So were Susie,
I know
Jim,
the
Peggy,
kids are.
Joe,
I like
and
how
all
all
the
of them
other
spelled as
children.
their names came.
The Parents Association wasn't, but they had promised to accept the
Thank
experts' report
you.
and
Shut
not
your
make
mouths. Sit in
any
a corner.
more trouble.
Turds.
Later that day, all X's friends put on their red and white checkered overalls and went over to see X. They
That's
found
nice.
X in the backyard playing with a very tiny baby that none of them had ever seen before.
Yeah, where's this
How do
baby
you
come
like
from?
our new baby? X asked the other children proudly.
Oh, it's got cute dimples.
Oh,
Said Jim.
It's got husky biceps, too.
Said Susie.
What kind of baby is it?
Asked
kind
Joe
of
and
baby?
Peggy. X frowned at them. Can't you tell? Then X broke into a big, mischievous grin.
what?
It's a Y.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I get, like, in situations when it comes to gender and I guess what's normally gender stereotypes, I guess you can say. I get how people can be confused when you have somebody from another gender doing something that's outside of the quote unquote norms of what a certain gender is supposed to do. I use these air quotes very loosely. Nonetheless, it's one thing to not completely understand because life has been a certain way for a very long time. It's a complete other thing to be harsh, discriminate, to get rid of people that you don't understand, despite race or gender or cultural differences, any of that. It's never right on any spectrum to be like, well, I don't get you, so I hate you. That's dumb, and you're dumb if you have that mindset. I thought this was like a cute, fun take on that situation, and it made it a very, not a very lighthearted, but it was more lighthearted way to approach that conversation of gender and understandings. And I know even with some gameplays that I've had where I'm like, oh, she this or he that, without the game saying anything, I've made that because I've made that decision for that character that I'm playing. And some people get upset, and there's no reason to because it's not offensive for me to play a character and assume by the way that they look and everything that they may be a girl. However, it would be wrong if I thought they were a girl and they did some things that are like quote unquote girly, and I'm like, oh, I hate you because you're not doing what girls do. That is wrong. But it's not wrong for me to play a game and think that it's one character, you know, gender-wise. That's not a wrong mindset. Nonetheless, let me know your thoughts down below. I think this brings up a really good conversation. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you like the video, check out the link in the description box below. If you like this video, hug the like out of that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you're notified of when I post. I love you guys as always, and until next time, butters!